get all the pretty girls, 'cause I poo-poo the pee-pee. I'm a little bit upset, 'cause I pooped on my bed set, dreaming of you all night, trying to hold my butthole tight. My bed is stinky and it's wet. I poo-poo the pee-pee, I poo-poo the pee-pee, I poo-poo the pee-pee, I poo-poo the pee-pee. Pee and poop, pee and poop, pee and poop, pee and poop. Covered in poop, covered in pee, covered in poop, covered in pee. I pee-pee the poop. Watch the Mickey G channel, it's the best. Watch the Mickey G channel, get some rest. Watch the Mickey G channel, don't be a fool. Watch the Mickey G channel, you'll feel it too. Watch the Mickey G channel, join the parade. Watch the Mickey G channel, don't be afraid. But if you don't, bro, yeah, you're probably gay. So fucking gay, super gay. Like you watch Love is Blind, type of gay. Like you bang guys, type of gay. So watch the Mickey G channel. Are you gay? We're waiting, Mickey G channel. We're waiting, Mickey G channel. We're waiting, Mickey G channel. We're waiting. Hey, everybody, yeah, you're stuck in the wait, staring at the screen like when's this thing gonna play? Chill the hell out, grab a drink, take a seat. Mickey and JB are setting up the stream. They're tweaking the mics, they're fixing the lights, making sure the quality hits them sweet highs. Top notch 4K, no lag, no glitch. We got you covered, just relax. We got your fix, so relax. The stream's coming soon. Mickey G channel gonna light up the room. No need to panic, no need to freak. We're almost live. Take a breath, take a leak. Hey, Mickey G channel, we're waiting. 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 For real talk, who gives a crap if we're 5 minutes late? What even is time when we're all headed straight to the grave? Yeah, we're all gonna die. Every single person watching this is gonna die. Your dog, your cat, everyone special to you. Your ex, your boyfriend, your mama too. Poof, gone, forgotten, dust in a box. Your grandma's dead, super dead, you'll be dead too. So relax or don't, we're all gonna die. Everything you love is a straight up lie. The stream will start or maybe it won't. Either way, who cares when there's so much death? Your life is as meaningless as it seems, just existential dread and broken dreams. You refresh the page, you hit that bell, but spoiler alert, none of it matters, it never will. Your likes don't count, your comments all suck. Why the hell do we even do this? I wanna die, just die. In a billion years, humanity won't be missed. That's depressing. But hey, the stream's starting any second now. Probably, maybe, who cares? We're all gonna die. Hey! I'm like close enough if we're in the wrong house. Every form, every tag on my key adds a letter that don't belong to me. It's Mickey without an E, not that cartoon on your TV. 5 small letters, that's all I need. M-I-C-K-Y. That's me. Yeah, Mickey without an E. Can you spell it right for me? 5 small letters, say it back to me. M-I-C-K-Y, that's me. Barista writes tears on my cup. Little red shorts, thumbs up, I laugh. But I cross out the tail, turn that mouse into my name on the scale. Call it petty, but it's part of my skin. One wrong letter feels like I don't fit in. It's Mickey without an E, not that cartoon on your TV. 5 small letters, that's all I need. M-I-C-K-Y. That's me. Yeah, Mickey without an E. Can you spell it right for me? Oh, yeah. 5 small letters, say it back to me. M-I-C-K-Y. That's me. I'm not a mascot. I'm a heartbeat, boots on the ground and holes in my jeans. You wanna?
I don't know. I've been told there's gotta be something else or someone there for me.
Default. All right, you can hear us now.
How about now?
Can you hear us now?
They could
Can
hear
you
us.
hear me
they,
now?
They could hear us now. Yeah, I see the meters. Oh my god.
It was working earlier, we swear.
Yeah, what the? I think. Okay, hold on. I think. Let me just make sure my. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Steve. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Steve.
it. Yeah. Let me just make sure all the settings are correct before we get started.
We thought they were correct.
There's always something, right? But at the same time, I didn't double check. But no, everything's good.
He told me he double checked.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was all there. Either way, do you want to do the intro again?
This is the Mickey G channel. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Abbreviate.
We are live. Thank you so much for tuning into the Mickey G channel.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
There we
Thank you for tuning into the Mickey G channel live starring Mickey G.
Thank you so much.
And also JD the God Killer.
I'll destroy data centers.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our special guest, former City Commissioner Robert Leftwich.
Yeah, once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Mickey G channel.
Eddie, this is free. Eddie, don't act like you pay anything.
Don't act like you pay anything, Eddie. We've seen you. We know your name. We know where you live.
But send me more money. Yes.
Yeah, we grew up with, that's our friend Ed. We went to high school together. All right. Well, once again, thank everyone for tuning in to the Mickey G channel. We have a very special guest, Robert Leftwich, a former city commissioner, right? I just want to make sure
Correct,
I got that
in
right.
Harlingen.
All right, perfect.
Actually, I was mayor pro tem, elected mayor pro tem twice by the commission. So.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Wow, nice. We're learning more and more by the second. Robert, we'll get straight to it. The way I discovered you, like I said, JB and I are still slowly learning more and more
We're
about
children.
we're learning more and more about the political landscape here in Harlingen. We saw this video go viral online. And let me just start from the beginning. Here we go.
If you could excuse me,
People may
Mr.
wonder why I'm doing
Leftwich.
this because the mayor refuses to
Okay.
videotape us from the phone.
I'd ask this is
Nietzsche will not
disorderly
let me have a
conduct.
camera here.
If we can't,
But if you want to harass
Thank
me,
you.
again,
could follow the rules, Mr. Leftwich.
there's no rules that says
Follow the
you
rules.
need to learn the law because the law says that I can face the public.
Your
As
minute,
long as
your
I address
your
you, I
time
can
is
face the public.
running, sir.
All right.
So
Well,
I
this
wanna
gentleman,
thank
thank you for stepping out here and expressing your concerns over the degrading of our First Amendment rights. The First Amendment stops the government from censoring, punishing, or restricting your speech. And I would appreciate if Commissioner Mesmer would not interrupt me. The fact of the matter is-
Robert Leftwich.
So these city meetings have been getting very, very testy recently, to say the least. But what led up to all of that? Like, what's the backstory?
It's your right as a citizen. You know, the Constitution protects the fact that we should be able to hold our government, local, state, or federal governments to account.
Amen.
And to require transparency from them. So they give us that opportunity through free speech. And, and that speech is not supposed to be limited the way we're seeing it being limited throughout the country.
Right.
And, and our mayor is no exception. I mean, she has cracked down on our ability to show the public, by videoing from the rear, you lose your effectiveness in your communication. And the mayor knows that. And the first thing they do, if you go to the podium and you complain, they go and say, "Oh, well, can we talk to you after the meeting?" And then they try to take that, disgruntled individual and take that issue offline. They don't want it to be public, but it's when it's something that's for the city, they're like, "Oh yeah, we've got a photographer, we've got a videographer, we're going to catch everything." They've got a photographer that they pay a good city wage with our taxpayer money to follow the mayor with a camera. She can be walking the room, and they're paying a video person and a still photographer to go around and photograph her. And then we see these pictures of her. I've read where, they say she's never shy or shied away from a camera. She's always doing selfies online, and and that's fine. But we need to get down to the business of the city. We've got a lot of things that we need to work on. I mean, coffee shops and car wash jobs, it's just not going to cut it in Harlingen. I mean, we need to focus on big industry and not data centers. I mean, data centers, if they were to bring in jobs, 1,000 or 2,000 jobs, then those kinds of investments would be worth it.
Yeah.
The last time we had a water agreement, that the size of the commercial contract that they've just signed with RGV Properties LLC for the data center, it was Fruit of the Loom, and they employed 1,800 people. And they're going to use some of that same infrastructure to provide this water. That's part of that contract. Some of that reverse osmosis facility, the storage facility that's located, because the Fruit of the Loom building was located on the back end of that sewer plant. So that's where they're getting the effluent water. And then they're going to go down the road they're going to just pipe that same effluent water up to the data center location, and it's outside the city limits.
Okay.
So there's a lot of controversy about this water agreement. I've actually read it. I've got a copy of it. I was going to print a copy and bring it tonight, but I didn't do it.
Oh no.
But there's some things in there that that really benefit the data center people. And this company, Enos Energy, they're more into developing. They're not the end user. They'll they'll run all the traps. They'll get all the permits, and they'll get the land and the water and secure the electricity infrastructure.
Yeah.
But they're gonna end up selling it to some Meta or somebody or
The
Google.
Skynet.
Yeah.
And this is a big one. The people in Harlingen, they don't realize this is not the Brownsville data center.
Yeah.
This is a 2 gigawatt build out. I mean, this is talking about, I've spoke at the meetings, city meetings, and I've said, did some research. You know what a gigawatt of power can provide? If you just research it,
How much?
almost 700,000 to 800,000 homes.
Oh my gosh.
And so I do a search, and according to the U.S. Census, there's only 600,000 or 700,000 homes in the entire valley.
Oh,
We've got a
shoot.
data center that's going to park next to
More.
Valley International Airport that's going to build out to be 2 gigawatts.
Yeah.
I mean, twice the power consumption of every home in the valley. I mean, you talk about a lot of power. And here's the deal. So now we've got a mayor, right? She's like, oh yeah, I submitted a letter of support, right? And but that letter was it was just a draft letter that they proposed from the data center. So she didn't really read it. She didn't understand what she was signing. So she says, right? She probably didn't. I believe her. I mean, her competency level is pretty low. But
Oh my God.
especially technically. But 2 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
check it out.
He's quoting a movie. He's being an idiot.
Yeah, it's 2 gigawatts.
Because there's a movie 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's more than that. I mean, and it's right in our backyard, and that's fine, But we need to talk about some details because people need to know this is a monster hyperscale data center. This is a big one, and look, they want 4.6 million gallons from Harlingen Waterworks a day. You know what the daily water rights are that the city of Harlingen holds to pull out of the Rio Grande River?
Like half of that?
No, 17 million gallons a day.
Gotcha.
So they're looking to secure long-term 20 to 25% of our total water rights. And then, we got these, it's really a mess, and we probably need more than a couple hours to talk about it. But the bottom line is that this is not a good agreement for the city of Harlingen and the ratepayers of Harlingen. We're going through these water rate votes. We've got something on next Wednesday's agenda. They're gonna put the waterworks budget on the agenda, and that budget's going to include the infrastructure required to support the commercial contract with the data center. If they've got to upsize the line to get that 5 million gallons of water out to that that site, they're gonna charge the ratepayers with that. The ratepayers are going to be paying for that infrastructure improvement. That's part of the contract. The contract says that it's Harlingen Waterworks' responsibility to increase the line size to support that contract. And they have a delivery point that's right outside the city limits. It's at a 10 million gallon storage tank, and that's going to be used. All of that was paid for with ratepayer money. Now they're talking about increasing the rate. So I'm telling these commissioners, anybody that really does not support the data center needs to vote no on the next Wednesday's waterworks budget.
Gotcha.
Because it hides all of that infrastructure. And why are they, if we're going to benefit so much from selling them this water, why are they still moving forward with additional rate increases?
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to be some kind of windfall for the city of Harlingen, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yet they're still going to consider these rate increases.
Yeah.
You know,
From-
something's not right here. The math is not adding.
It's not
up.
math.
The math's not math. And from the outside, just from me paying attention peripherally, I had seen all the accusations of the mayor, like, secretly, supporting this data center. And then I saw her put out a lot of posts that like, look, it's never been brought to the city commission.
Because it's outside the city limits.
Yeah, it's outside of city limits. We've never been, and she kind of put out that this has never been brought to our attention. This has nothing to do with us.
Okay, let me point something out. We see that. We see what she says, and she's pretty shady. It's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
The issue is, and it was on the last meeting agenda, is Commissioner Morales and Gomez, it takes two commissioners to do it. They put the water agreement on the agenda for discussion to terminate it, based on the fact that Roy Rodriguez, the mayor's husband's uncle, he signed the contract, and the city charter says yes, you have to get city commission approval for a wholesale water agreement. And the wholesale water agreement is where you sell Primera water wholesale, and then they sell it out to their residents, right?
Gotcha.
So this is not considered. This is considered a commercial contract. And the attorney may be right there, but the thing is that whenever it involves upgrading the infrastructure to support that commercial contract, the city commission needs to be able to approve that, and that's under the budget.
Right.
Now, here's the other thing: the charter says that any fee, regardless of commercial contract or wholesale contract, has to be approved by the city commission. Okay, so Roy Rodriguez, I'm sorry, he offered them a rate that is an inside the city rate when their delivery point specifically says in the contract it's going to be outside the city.
Why do you
Now
think
that's a deviation from the city commission approved rate structure.
Why do you think they're doing that?
Well, somebody calculated it and said that if they take advantage of all the potable water, it's $1 million savings for them.
Oh wow!
So $1 million, is the difference between if you buy that water commercially based on the water rate ordinance, and you're in the city, you're gonna save money. But if you're buying it outside the city, then you're gonna pay more for it, and that's the deal. That deviation from the rates, the city commission approved rates, that has to be approved.
Right.
And if the mayor and the city attorney weren't stonewalling this opposition, they would get on board, and they're not, because they support it. I just watched an EDC KRGV or some video with Orlando Campos. He's the EDC director for the city of Harlingen. He's still promoting the data center. He is he's still saying that it's going to bring in mega taxes for for whoever taxing entities out there, and the city of Harlingen is not going to get anything. Now the school district would benefit from it, but how Lord knows when our school district needs money. I mean, they're killing us.
How would the school district benefit from a data center?
Under the state of Texas, the state law says that school districts cannot they can on very narrow guidelines give tax abatements.
Okay.
But I don't think data centers qualify for tax abatements because they obviously don't meet the primary job numbers. They don't have enough employees. But so they would, if it's a $14 billion capital improvement, they're going to be in the Harlingen School District. So that the school district and the county would benefit from that. And that's the other thing.
You mean, I'm sorry, just so I understand, you mean they'll benefit because
of property taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, and
see, the city of Harlingen, they're outside the city of Harlingen, so the city of Harlingen won't benefit from any property taxes.
Yeah.
And we have little control over what they do.
Okay.
The biggest control that the city of Harlingen has is our municipal water utility.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's already been blown out of the water because, they felt like they were going to sell us out.
Mhm.
I mean, they're obligating the citizens, the ratepayers of Harlingen, extremely tight.
Yeah.
I mean, that contract says that if they don't like the effluent water, that we have to sell them our potable water
Mm.
and
If
at
they
a
don't like it.
discount rate.
If they don't
Wow.
like it.
If they don't like it, say it doesn't meet the cleanliness or whatever,
Yeah.
like we don't clean it up enough
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them, they can reject our affluent water.
Wow. So
And we have to produce 5 million gallons, right at 5 million gallons a day
yeah.
of water.
And that's what I've been real curious about is that like why does the city, why does it seem, even though
It seems like a no-brainer, common sense to most citizens.
yeah.
But for some reason, our leadership wants to hang
They're
their
pushing it,
hat.
yeah.
Let's talk about the letters of support. We know based on emails that we've acquired through open records requests that the mayor, she got called out just in the last couple months. That's how we know that she did one, because we got a copy of it. Well, let me explain something about that. The letters of support are usually voted on by the entire commission. And there's actually an ethical dilemma because she signed on city letterhead. She says, well, it didn't go before the commission for support for a commission, letter, non-binding, letter of support.
So it should be omitted then.
So she says, I signed it as an individual, as my position as mayor, but that's okay unless you put it on city letterhead. Now, once she does that, you're representing the city of Harlingen,
Yeah.
and the city of Harlingen is composed of a city commission. So that's actually if you search it, that's an abuse of office.
Oh wow.
And
abuse of
that's
power.
actually could be a criminal offense against our mayor.
So when I see the post that she put out to her, she said, "Look, I did sign that document, but now I disagree with whatever for whatever reason."
And that was a form letter from the data center, and so she takes them out because they're a private business.
Yeah.
For a mayor to endorse a private business,
Yeah.
that's unlawful.
Wow. So
And so she's not going to tell you that, but quickly after that, somebody probably
Oh, I
said, "Hey, you
didn't
can't
know.
be doing that."
Yeah.
yeah.
So okay, well, just
I
go
didn't
for the
know I couldn't.
transmission line. Just tell them you're supporting that transmission line. Hey, let's talk about that transmission line. That they're trying to kill the 765 kilovolt transmission line going into West Texas.
What is that? The transmission line? What are you talking about?
The transmission line is capable. It's a high efficiency line that can produce 1 to 2 gigawatts of electrical transfer.
Okay.
And so it's on the drawing board to come down into the Rio Grande Valley.
Oh, okay.
I think right now they're at 365 megawatts of transmission, but 765 kilovolt
Is that related? Is that what she was saying that she was trying to get?
yeah. She says, well,
to...
there. You see, that's one of the talking points that data centers they do when they go into a community. They says, oh, well, we're going to do grid. This is for grid reliability. This is to keep you from having rolling blackouts and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
You don't need a 765K. That's an industrial grade upgrade. I mean, we don't have it. And then you look at the battery. We've got that 499. It's got a 100 megawatt battery system.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
facility. It's a battery storage facility. I think Black Mountain's the one that started the permit process. They got and they're doing in Fort Worth. They're doing they're a data center company.
Yeah.
They're doing one in Fort Worth that's controversial right now. When here's the deal. This Enos Energy, they're going to start off, they got to have power first.
Mhm.
You can go build your warehouses for your servers,
Yeah.
but you got to have electricity. And
Yep.
there's not 2 gigawatts of surplus electricity flowing by Valley International Airport. They don't have that 765 kilovolt power line going through there yet. That's a project they want.
I see.
But that's why you see everybody saying, well, you got to have on site, they call it behind the meter
Okay.
power. That means on site, And so, look, you're talking 1,800 acres for the Harlingen proposed data center, hyperscale data center. They're going to have an LNG plant there.
Yeah.
And that's going to pollute the heck out of the air because they're trying to get 2 gigawatts. I did a search on the state of Texas, some nuclear power plants. And some of the capacities of like the Comanche power plant that's up in North Texas, around Dallas, Fort Worth area,
Yeah.
it only puts out like 1.2 gigawatts.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow.
So our data center requires more power than that nuclear power plant to get. It's hard to get people to scale in their minds.
Yeah.
How big this thing is going to be.
We're going to need 2 nuclear power plants.
Basically, to have 2 nuclear power plants
to power it.
Yeah, so while you were speaking, I brought up this article. I think it was put up back in May. What was it? May 21st. Harlingen sets moratorium as 2 data centers show interest in county. After months of planning, amid residents' concerns, city commissioners are setting a 120-day moratorium on taking applications for data centers as they study their impacts on the community, its water and energy resources. Meanwhile, Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. said county engineering officials are in pre-permitting discussions with 2 companies interested in developing data center projects within the county, just outside the city limit line near Valley International Airport. How do you pronounce that? Enos?
Enos Energy.
Yeah, Enos Energy last year proposed development of a 1,785 acre data center project inside Cameron County.
Okay, look at the numbers you've got up there. 1,785 acres. Look, they have options for that land. They haven't bought it yet, but they have options, and those people, the owners, they want to sell it. They want to sell that to that data center. Who knows what they're going to give them?
A lot
It's
of money.
millions and millions.
A lot of money.
Tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Look, and then look at the 4.6 million gallons of sewer water a day.
Oh my
A
gosh.
day. I mean, it's like I said, Harlingen, by water rights, only has about 16 to 18 million gallons available to pull out of the Rio Grande River. And then we're probably using 75% of that.
Oh no.
Just for the Harlingen uses. Right.
Yeah. Has the city ever talked about a plan for the water?
No.
Well, here's what scares me. So now we've got this interim high-priced uncle, the mayor.
Yeah.
Right. So he's been on some local news interviews promoting the $1 billion private desalination plant down on the island.
Okay.
And what they want is all these cities, Los Fresnos, Redondo, Harlingen, everybody, Brownsville, to pre-purchase some rights to that desal plant. Yeah, they say, it's going to be $1 billion. Yeah, but they're going to want public, utilities to want to sell the water. Now, what I heard, they said that, you're going to buy the water from that desal plant. Guess where you pick the water up?
Uh-oh.
At the plant.
Oh,
That means that you have to pay for a pipeline
Yeah.
to do it. Now, here's my problem. Look, they just hired a lady from Brownsville Public Utility to replace for the executive director position for Harlingen Waterworks. Well, that's been fraud. That utility has just been out of control with fraud. Their light bills down there, the water bills down there. Why in the world, would we hire a manager? And and she gets, I heard that she's top tier hire. Because she's an engineer. Well, she was a mid-level manager, project engineer, has never operated from an executive director position, a municipal utility. But all of a sudden, now she's making more.
Oh no.
She's making $250,000. I mean, I don't know what these board members and the mayor, what the heck are they doing? It's like every director in the city of Harlingen is making $250,000, or more.
Nice.
You know, isn't that something? And with hardly any experience. I mean, we just hired that person, never has been the top executive director at any municipal utility anywhere.
Yeah.
10 years as a mid-level manager, project manager, capital person. And what scares me is we've gone from nepotism to cronyism.
Yeah.
Somebody knew this person and now we're stuck with it. And we're going to pay for it. Then the rates are going to go up. And you know what scares me is the Brownsville PUB, they're tied into that desal group too. You know, everybody knows everybody. The lead group is the former Port of Corpus. He's a former executive director over there. He ran the port for a while. Now he hooked up with this group from Israel, and they're going to make money because it's a private enterprise now. And then they've got these former city managers like Roy Rodriguez that are out there promoting hooking up to this desal plant.
Yeah.
That's going to be the most expensive water we've ever seen. And here's my point. Look, the city of Harlingen Waterworks has wholesale contracts with East Rio Hondo Water District. They have wholesale contracts with Primera. You know, that was a controversy in the paper not too long ago about the rates, how much they're going to charge. If before we go hook up with some $1 billion desal plant, let's cut these wholesale water agreements out.
Yeah,
Don't sell it. Palm Valley. I think we'd have a wholesale water agreement with Palm Valley.
Oh wow.
Before Harlingen gets sunk down into that, let's cut all those wholesale water agreements out. Let's pull our water. We have the water rights.
Yeah.
But it scares if this desal plant's going to draw in 4.6 million gallons a day. That's a lot of water.
Yeah, that is a
and
lot.
Whoever got us into that contract, man, I tell you, it's unbelievable. That's going to be the mayor's legacy.
That was something we were speaking about previously before we started the show. Speaking of Uncle Roy, you had confronted the mayor about possible nepotism about Roy Rodriguez.
Yeah,
and so she had to come out with this article. And you're saying this is she wrote, or no, this is actually her words.
Yeah, this is her words. She sent that, and she had everybody. She was villainizing me pretty good there until she pointed out that no, it's not her uncle. It's not. It's her husband's uncle. Oh my gosh.
So tell me what were the accusations that you were making regarding our mayor Sepulveda and Roy Rodriguez?
Roy Rodriguez is her husband's uncle. I mean, it's a matter of fact, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows it is. Let's look at it. They were going through a hiring process. The mayor and the city manager are ex-officials of the Harlingen Waterworks Board. They're non-voting, but they can go in there and they can attend the meetings. They can attend the executive sessions. And I've discovered that there were some minutes back when they were going through the hiring process that the mayor showed up at particular meetings that the only thing on the agenda was to talk about the candidates for the executive director's position. So she was, and then it turns out that she comes out and she says, well, there wasn't, the board decided that there wasn't anybody that this headhunting company had presented them that was a good fit. So we'll let the board do it. Well, she has an appointee on that board. Well, that appointee is the one that made the motion to hire her uncle as an interim.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. And so it goes on.
So there you go. So, and then, and so she says, well, I didn't have anything to do with that. I'm sure she didn't talk to him. I'll take her word for that.
Yeah.
Right. No, so I'm just kidding. But I wouldn't believe anything she says at this point. Look what she's done with the data center.
Exactly.
But let's fast forward. So we got another executive director position in the city of Harlingen, just at the Valley International Airport. That was a catastrophe. I mean, you had the executive director fighting, making, saying that the mayor is this or, that she's involved in this other stuff. and then the assistant executive director, they both quit, throwing the mayor under the bus, right, for meddling in the affairs over there. So now they go out for an executive director, right? Another $250,000 a year job. And she's another ex officio member as mayor, and plus she's got 2 board members.
Right.
So what do you think's going to happen? So now she comes in there and she says, "Well, I let the Waterworks board handle that with Uncle Roy. I'm sure there wasn't any behind the closed door discussions." So now they just said, "Oh, but not only that, I think the charter and the bylaws says that there's nothing that says that we can't vote on that board." Now the charter says that you're a non-voting member on the Waterworks, but somehow it got in their head that, hey, you know what, we can vote. But you know what? If it doesn't say that doesn't prohibit you from voting, I guess all the commissioners theoretically could vote if they wanted to,
Right.
even though they're not ex officials. I mean,
Wow.
they may not be able to go in there and participate, but who's to say they can't vote on the airport board?
That's
So,
true.
I mean, there's just micromanaging, and it's cronyism. It's, and it's gonna hurt. And then, we talked about this Waterworks person, 10 years at Brownsville PUB as a mid-level manager, never had the top level position. So now we move over to the airport, and what do you think they hire over there for a guy?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, 1 year. He's got 1 year, and then he quit. That's all he can handle. He was there at El Paso for however long, and he ends up, they moved him up over there, and then for some reason, who knows what, he survived 1 year, and he's only got 1 year as the executive director of an airport.
Yeah.
And they went out, the airport board, the mayor didn't like who they brought in. So here's the thing, the mayor says, this headhunting group over at Waterworks, we're going to pay them $50,000. And then they come back and they say, no, you know what? We didn't like anybody. They weren't a good fit. So let's hire Uncle Roy. All right. He's an interim. He's been there 2 years.
They
about
paid
2
the
years.
headhunter program $50,000
Yeah. 40, 50, 40, 45
to look for people.
to look for people.
And they
then
didn't
they
find
got
anybody.
Uncle
Yeah, and then they didn't want to accept anybody that they presented, right? So they go to the airport, and what do you think they do over there? They go in there, right? So they say, okay, let's hire Uncle Roy over here, and then they go to the airport and they said, we don't. They said we're going to do it in house. We're not going to spend that $50,000. So they do it in house. They're saving money at the airport. Oh no, the mayor comes in there. No, we don't like anybody that they came up with, even though it was a national search. It was through a vetting process.
Right.
Oh no, we don't like it. Let's spend $50,000 over there and come up with somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't want to do it at Waterworks, and then they made them do it after they did it in house at the airport. So
Wow.
it's just a shit show.
So
What the hell?
there's let me go to the part where she addresses the accusations of
Nepotism.
So to shut down all of this misinformation completely, I asked our city attorney, Mark Sosi, to form a legal opinion and to provide me the assurance that I already knew that I had. And in short, he basically said that Roy Rodriguez is a contractor consultant, not a W-2 employee, works for Harlingen Waterworks as a consultant, no blood relationship to myself. And under the Texas government code and our city charter, he is not within the prohibited degrees of affinity, which is a fancy way of saying that even though he's related to my husband, it is not within the realm of where it would violate our charter or the state. There has been no violation of any nepotism law, whether it be state or local. And here's the real issue. This is what she's saying.
Yeah.
The former commissioner has the right to stand. She's talking about you at this point. The former commissioner, Robert Leftwich, has the right to stand at this podium, as does anyone else, and lie. Yes, you can come up here and you can say what you wish. He does it every single time he shows up, and most of the community knows that. That's his right, which is everyone's right. But he does not have the right to publicly and falsely accuse me or anyone on this dais of committing a crime. that crosses a line, and that's not protected opinion, and that is defamation, and that's why I'm speaking up now. This wasn't just an offhand comment. It was calculated. It was an act of mendacious. Wow, props. Someone so
She didn't
obsessed
write this.
with me that they're willing to
Yeah, I
fabricate.
probably wrote it.
Her dad has said it.
Her uncle.
Someone's so obsessed with me that they're willing to fabricate criminal wrongdoings just to get attention.
Yeah, she's playing victim there. You know, the thing about it, you know, she is right in a way. I mean, it's one level
Yeah.
from being illegal, but Harlingen, the city of Harlingen has an ethics ordinance that goes beyond state law. And it says that if there is an appearance of a conflict of interest,
I see.
and that is so much of an appearance
Right.
that you don't, why do it? You know, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know, $240,000 a year. And then now look at the mess we were in. I mean, he goes out because he's, you know, high profile city manager, you know, and dealing with a $14 billion data center project. And he gets the city of Harlingen and our children and grandchildren locked into a water agreement with litigious, you know, data center industry. I mean, you try to get out of that thing, I guarantee you hear about lawsuits. Did y'all hear about the lawsuit that Enos Energy, they sued the
Google it.
Secretary of State or the Attorney General's office because they told the county to release some emails based on their project, and they sued the state.
You can do that
Yeah,
to hide your emails.
that's what they did, and it was about the Harlingen data center.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's interesting.
just put Enos Energies or
Yeah, Sue's
Sue's who exactly?
secretary.
Not the Texas secretary.
or the Attorney General.
Oh, the Texas attorney.
Attorney
Oh,
General.
look, wow, look at
They
it.
sued the
It
Attorney
actually
General.
came up.
This
Cameron
is
County.
the people that we just signed a water agreement with.
And they're suing us
It's
already.
it sued the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Cameron County and Travis County in May 13, 2026. The case is listed as Enos Energy versus Ken Paxton. Why it sued. The lawsuit seeks to stop Cameron County from releasing records about the proposed RGV Cameron County data center project.
And just think what they would do if we tried to cancel that water agreement. That's what they're scared of too.
There's a lot of money on writing on it.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
$14 billion project.
Too much money.
They sued the state of Texas.
Wow.
That should tell you something. Yep.
Enos says the documents included confidential or proprietary materials such as transmission, interconnection information, infrastructure and siting strategy, growth plans, construction costs, and expansion timelines, and argues disclosure would harm its competitive position. It also alleges that its February 3rd submission to the AG's office was received but not included in the file reviewed for the April disclosure decision. Wow. Wow, that's so.
Enos is it. They're digging their heels in.
I
on
gotta
this
start
deal.
googling them. Then
Yeah, wow, that's
figure out
interesting.
who those guys are.
Very, very interesting. And okay, so speaking of data centers, you were saying that at the most recent, was it the city commission meeting? No, it was the city commission meeting that you had gone up and spoke about data centers. And
Well, I spoke about the
flood
drainage.
Ah, never
the
mind.
drainage.
All right.
But if you go back and look, the municipal minutes, they put together a computation of where I did speak about the data center, and I spoke about the battery facility on Loop 499. That was developed by Black Mountain Energy.
Yeah.
And that's a data center company, and they need data centers need that. They need those battery facilities
Right.
for grid reliability. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a surge issue for data centers.
Right.
I mean, if you don't have it, and what I discovered is that it's right on the other side of the airport from the data center proposed location, and in order to, you can have an offsite battery storage facility to satisfy requirements for data center surge, you can contract and do an off grid connection. And so they could say, okay, well, we'll go ahead and get set up because we can cash flow. That battery facility can cash flow without the data center being there. But if they want to maximize cash flow, they could be priority battery backup for that data center, even though they're off
They
site.
have those options.
They can do a grid lease with AEP. And go straight over to the airport, or they can install, a dedicated line and contract AEP to do it.
This is the part I've been so fascinated about is that I'm thinking, because I've only heard about negatives about data centers, that it takes so much energy and water consumption. But
the water consumption, what they'll do is that they need this, like we talked about earlier, they need this water for their LNG plant. They don't necessarily need it for their server warehouses because, yes, they will do a closed loop. They may do a closed loop, and they may need just an initial fill of water, and then they do a closed loop. But they can't get away from a water consumption when they have on-site power. And at 2 gigawatts of power, you can't go there because there's not that much available grid. I mean, you don't have that much power coming off of a grid right there, so they have to have on-site power. Plus, that's a state requirement now. I mean, Abbott's at least pushing for that, and they do. They plan. Look, this is Enos Energy. Their main primary deal. If you look at the experience of the CEO and the other folks that are involved there, they are involved in power plant developer. They're power plant developers. First and foremost, you got to have the power. So, and guess what else is going through that 1,800 acres that they just put in a couple of months ago?
What?
The LNG pipeline that goes down to the Port of Brownsville goes right through that property. And so I Google and I'm like, well, can you do an industrial tap on an LNG pipeline? Meaning, can you submit for a permit to pull right off of that pipeline? And yes, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that's a perfect location. You got Harlingen water. You got the land.
They're setting it up.
They're setting it up. You got an LNG pipeline that goes right through the property.
All right. Well,
And that, I mean, if you're going to do an LNG power plant, why not? Right?
Yeah.
You're going to have the water. Harlingen's going to deliver it right there at the fence line.
yeah.
And you got a gas pipeline that cuts right through the property.
So in your opinion, based off of what you see, what do you think the incentive is for these local city representatives?
Well, there's going to be people that are gonna make out. I mean, the landowner's going to make out.
You gotta build.
I think the school district could make out. I mean, look, we got to be realistic. It's probably going to happen. I mean, unless nobody in Harlingen is going to stop this thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna end up out there. The people in charge that we depended on to be transparent and to look out for our long-term futures, they've let us down. I mean, the mayor, you got some commissioners saying that they're not for it. Well, they're just saying that because they know that nothing's coming. Look, if you listen to what I told them, the moratorium is a ruse. That's just smoke and mirrors. They know they don't have anything coming before them in the next 180 days. And let's talk about that. They said, oh, well, we're going to do a study. I bet you they're not doing it. They're not doing any studying. They're just sitting back waiting,
Yep.
And once they get through this waterworks budget and they get through this little uproar about, well, you need city commission approval for the fee structure because it wasn't in the city ordinance and had never been approved by the city commission. And that's a charter requirement because waterworks is semi-autonomous. I mean, they pretty much can run their day-to-day operations, but there are some things listed in the charter, and one of them is fees and one of them is wholesale contract approvals.
Yeah.
So if we don't do a injunction, have some kind of legal clout to where we can go and say, look, and get some injunctive relief and say, hey, don't,
In the event of.
This is a non-binding contract until they get city commission approval. And I'm afraid that once you adopt a budget and that stuff's incorporated in the budget, then it's just like you just approved the rate structure because you approved it. You're approving the infrastructure that you need to get to support that contract, that
Exactly.
agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in short, you think there's going to be just little benefits here and there for the city?
Oh, there
and-
could be some big benefits. I mean, if I think the negatives is that we have to watch to see what, are we going to see water restrictions that we've never seen in the city of Harlingen before, like they do in Brownsville, McAllen,
Ugh, that'd
some
be
other
worse.
cities. I mean, they don't have the water rights, the excessive water rights that we have in Harlingen, and we've just sold them out basically.
Gotcha.
Because once they included potable water in there as part of that agreement, that just, you have to set aside whether the Roy Rodriguez says, oh, there's a 0 chance that we're going to have to give them potable water, but if you still have to set that water aside, because what if there is a chance that your sewer, you got a sewer problem? Look, we have issues.
He said 0 chance.
He said that there was 0 chance that we would have to, but that's not what the contract says. The contract says you have to, even if you had to provide 5 million gallons a day of potable water, then you have to provide that, at least that much, because there's a provision in the contract that says, well, if we don't like your effluent water because it's too dirty or it's not, it's got some kind of chemical in it, or whatever the reason is, if they can justify it, then you have to provide potable water, and you have to provide up to 4.6 million gallons a day of it.
So either way, even if they're not using it, it still has to be set
It's
aside.
on contract.
We still have to.
When it's on contract like that, that means you have to have it on reserve.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I want to get to this point, or this video, because you had said you had just recently went to a city commission meeting.
Let's talk about let's go back, and because I think one of the things that we were here to talk about was some of the shenanigans that's going on at City Hall under public comments. I mean, right now we talked about the mayor. She doesn't want to video anybody from the front, but under public hearings, I don't think they have a choice. I think they have to video so I spoke under the public hearing under this one. And I brought up some drainage because what I've noticed is that, we've got 2 economic development corporations in the city of Harlingen. We have the A and the B. The A is very restrictive. You can only access that money for primary jobs, which are high paying jobs, not part-time. They have to be, full-time with benefits before a company can come in there and access that money. Right. So the 4B was voted on about 20, 25 years ago, and that splits off part of that sales tax money that funds those 2 economic development corporations. And they call it, B is quality of life. So it's broad. You can buy park benches and, stuff like that. Well, you can also do drainage. And we all know that we need drainage in Harlingen, but one of the things, and around election year, what do you hear? You hear about drainage, and then we get grants and stuff. Well, there's $10 or $15 million of this Economic Development Corporation money that I've seen other cities like Cedar Park, for example. They had a voter referendum, and they switched all of their 4B money to drainage only. Yeah. So it can be drainage.
Yeah.
Well, here we are, and they're dipping into that money, using it as a slush fund for parks and stuff like that. And that's feel good stuff, and that's your pet projects around election.
It's aesthetically good, so you can look good.
Yeah, that's election time rhetoric, and those are things. But so, in this clip that we're going to see, I'm talking about that, but let's go back to the mayor. So she has a discretion of being able to say, well, you're off topic, you're out of order, or something like that. And that's the thing is that she needs to learn what's allowed, because she's violating people's civil rights when she shuts you down and says you're out of order.
Yeah.
Now, we noticed that she did that and told me that I couldn't turn my back to him. Well, she found out later that you could, and I did at the next meeting, and nobody said anything to me.
Yeah.
You didn't see any police officers trying to come up to me or anything like that.
Yeah, because in the first video we saw I had seen the viral video that was shared. And it didn't show the police officer, but to see that they actually did get
they
severely
approached them. Yeah,
severely offended.
I got called out of order, and that set up that second video.
Wow, that's insane.
But the one that you're right, the one that did go viral was the one that they didn't approach me, but I had basically had to go through there and kind of set them up and educate them,
Yeah.
and say, look, don't mess with me. I'm gonna do it again. And you heard Commissioner Mesmer. He let out a little burp, laughter in the second one.
Is that the guy with the beard, the white beard?
But he just
What-
broke out laughing at the first one. He didn't. He can't control himself. I think he's over medicated or something.
What does he have against you? Do you guys have beef? I feel like
He's my commissioner for one, but he's just. I mean, I'm just doing my civic duty, holding people account and asking for transparency.
I mean,
All right.
I kind of would be laughing too, but I wouldn't be laughing with
Yeah.
that commissioner. I'd be more like, we're laughing because y'all.
Well,
look like idiots.
Isaac was using some of his content too, because he's pretty bizarre. He comes up with some pretty bizarre stuff.
Yeah, he's just blatantly it's kind of like he shows that he's offended, and he shows kind of like
He actually had a town hall meeting not too long ago. I got some really good video of him there.
Yeah.
he got roasted at that town hall meeting.
he looks like he would be easy pickings to offend.
Yeah,
Like-
he is. Yeah, he
like
is.
he reacts very easily. All right, so we'll go to the video. So tee it up. You went to
Now,
this town hall.
let this is brand new video. I don't think people have seen this. Only people that were there and a handful of people have seen this video. And the mayor calls me out of order again. And all I'm doing is advocating that they don't spend park money or drainage money on parks.
Yeah.
So let's check it out.
All right, here we go.
Mr. Robert Leftwich will get 3 minutes on this item.
On this item, or isn't he signed up for?
He signed up for 2, so he's gonna put 3 minutes on this item and 2 on the other one. 'Cause he-
Is that correct, Mr. Leftwich?
3 and 2.
Okay, you've got 3 minutes.
First off, this is a very important issue. I mean, we all know that the flood damage prevention, it should be in policy. It should be comprehensive. It should be extensive. The fact is that I think the city can go a step further. And I think that when you look at the neighborhoods that have flooded in the city, and we're spending tax dollars that can be spent on flood prevention, but we're spending them on parks. We're spending them on parks and neighborhoods that flood. This policy should reflect the prohibition of spending taxpayer money on a park that's in a floodplain or a flood-known area. We have Launcey Hill. That park y'all spent $10 million on that park over the last 5 or 6 years. That area by the police station floods every time there's a major flood. We're spending flood money on parks when we could be spending it. The Economic Development Corporation, the 4B, could be used for floods, for drainage projects. We know that. We know that other cities have had ballot referendums to divert that money from other quality of life things. I mean, I think if it came down to buying a park bench or somebody not getting flood water in their houses, I believe that would be a vote that the citizens of Harlingen would go for every time. Yes,
Amen.
There's some things that you need to do to use that money, but to arbitrarily just use it for pet political projects.
Mr. Leftwich, if we can, I'm trying to give you as much
I
leeway as
appreciate if you
possible.
wouldn't violate my constitutional rights under this public hearing.
If we could just
The
stay
fact of the
within
matter is,
topic.
you need to reset my time because I'm talking policy, I'm talking drainage, and that is what this issue is. So I would appreciate if you wouldn't, again, violate my constitutional rights, just like you did under citizens' comments when you took a favorable commenter out of order and placed them last so that they could speak on
Mr.
what you
Leftwich,
favored.
you are still
And I
out
asked
of
the city
order.
attorney to look into that
Okay,
because that's
all
a
right.
violation.
You're out of
That's
order,
a
Mr.
viola-
Leftwich.
I'm not out of
Sir,
order.
please confine yourself to the ordinance. It's a public hearing.
I was interrupted. I was
Please
talking
address-
about drainage.
Please address the
Oh,
public.
go back to it now that I have been violated? Y'all are going to violate my civil rights, and then when I go and defend myself, y'all are not going to listen to me? You're going to call me out of order?
you're in
Mayor,
out of
you
order.
were out of order. I was talking about spending drainage money
Please have a seat,
where
Mr.
it needs to be
Leftwich.
put. I still have 41 seconds of my public hearing.
If you can
The
keep
fact
your
of the matter
comments
is,
to the public
All
hearing.
I'm asking, and the public here knows, quit spending the EDC money on parks when it can be used for drainage so people don't get flood water in their homes. And I'll rest with that.
Thank you, Mr. Leftwich. Having no one
There
else
it
signed
is.
up for
There it is,
or
ladies
against
and
this item.
That's the first time y'all have seen that video, right?
She's never gonna learn.
I mean, the item was what? It was drainage. Go back and read it again. What was the?
Yeah.
So it was drainage.
Yeah.
It's a policy. It's a city policy on drainage. The public hearing requires you to stay on topic. Okay, I was talking about drainage. I was talking about set a policy to prohibit spending potential drainage money on parks.
Until she
I
opened
mean,
her mouth.
and then she calls me out of order, off topic.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you know what triggered her when I said pet project.
yeah.
When I said pet project, because she knows, you know why? Because Commissioner Perez is pushing this, park, this event or activity center.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, you know where they get they say, oh, well, the TxDOT's going to match half of it, or, whatever, the state's going to match half of it. And then we're going to come up with the other half, and they're going to go to the 4B board, and they're going to say, hey, pay for this half. We're going to get it matched.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You can get matching drainage money
Yeah.
too. So, quit doing these pet projects and using that 4B as a slush fund.
The activity center, is that the one on Wilson?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's an election year project.
I saw that. Yeah.
Commissioner Perez is just, he's just trying, let's do a survey, and what do y'all want? And, let's just spend money.
I see
But you
that-
know what? You said yourself that in this house,
Yeah.
right off of Wilson Road.
Yeah.
I don't want to give your address
I was
away.
there. Chill out.
But you had flood water in here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather spend money
To prevent
could
that?
be for
100%.
drainage? My goodness, and the mayor wants to call me out of order for saying, look, prohibit that. You spend $10 million on that Launce Hill Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It floods. I know a guy over there, he's had 3 flood events in his house. He can't hardly afford the flood insurance anymore because it just keeps going up and up and up. And then what do you do? And they spend money on the park. Why do you spend money on a park in a neighborhood that floods and not use that money to fix the flooding?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can't make this stuff
I mean,
up.
logic.
I agree 100%. And that's why when I saw them posting about we're thinking of this activity center and it's going to be.
But let's talk about something else, because we need to stick on this decorum deal too. Because one of the things that I pointed out was we had just finished citizens' comments, and she got one of her supporters to come in there and make a statement in favor, and say, oh yeah, these people are doing this and they're saying this.
Oh,
Well, we confirmed that he signed up before I did, so he should have been speaking before me. Well, he gets the last word. Well, citizens' comments by the chair of the meeting is supposed to be neutral, content neutral. That
Okay.
means that it just let the cards, fall where they lay, right? No, she isn't. She's deliberately violating our civil rights because she is manipulating the order of the speakers. That's manipulation.
Well, that's why you called her out on that same video.
That's why I
Yeah.
called her out, and I asked the city attorney, and then he says, "No, you need to get back on topic," because he knows I'm right.
Yeah. You think they're just so used to
Getting
having
away, they're just used to getting away with it.
Yeah, they're so used to just having control over how things are run. So
Yeah.
it's it's not a big deal that we switch the order of the.
But that's
people
the
that speak.
first time I think most people have seen that video clip, and that happened at the last meeting.
Yeah.
And that was under a public hearing. That's why the video is from the front.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you have to be real narrow on what you can say. You can't just go in there like under citizens'
For sure.
comments, and
For
then,
sure.
and talk about Uncle Roy and things like that.
Yeah.
But
She'll get
hey,
really
I
offended.
looked at it and there was 9 items on there. I said, I'm going to say something about the drainage because that's been a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
They just blow through that money. It's a slush fund.
Yeah.
And if, like I said, if a citizen had the choice to vote between spending that money on a park bench
Yeah.
or trying to keep water from coming into your house, my goodness, people were out 6-7 months a year. you know?
Yeah.
And then your property values go to, to hell. You gotta disclose that flood in your sale, and it makes it harder to sell. And
Has the Harlingen political sphere always been this interesting, or is it just recently because of the data centers that everyone's been more aware of it?
There's a lot of things going on right now, and I think when you have somebody in the leadership position that it's just they micromanage. They're involved in every hiring and firing and board selection.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like you want people, you talk about diversity, but you don't see it because if you're not if you're not into the pack, it's cronyism. That's what I said at the waterworks. We went from nepotism to cronyism, and both of those are bad for business.
Right. Nothing gets done.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets nothing, it's not viewpoint neutral. I mean, you're told what to do.
Yeah.
You're getting marching orders, and it's just not. It's going to cost us.
Wow. Well, I want to make sure we went through. Did we go through all of the topics that you wanted to run through? Was there anything we missed? I just want to make sure.
Well, I just want to reemphasize that next week is the meeting. Next week's going to have the waterworks budget on it, and that's going to be a big thing because if it gets passed and it includes the data center, if the infrastructure costs and everything gets incorporated in that budget and approved, there's not going to be much of leeway to fight it in the future because they're going to say, well, it got approved by the city commission, so you can't do anything now. But I do want to point out that knowing that if the questions get asked right at the meeting during the deliberation, then that needs to come out. They need to say, hey, what, in this budget that you want us to approve, what part of this is going to take care of that water agreement with the data center? I mean, are y'all going to spend money?
Yeah.
And then why are you going to go up on the rates? We're hearing from the EDC director, oh yeah, this is going to be a windfall for, everybody involved. The school district, the Harlingen Waterworks is going to make a bunch of money selling sewer water. They term it sewer water. But then the contract says, well, if we don't like your sewer water, you got to sell us potable water. You got to sell us drinking water. It's like, damn, it's a shell game over here.
Yeah.
It's just a wordplay every time you turn around, and they don't, there's no transparency until after they're caught.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that transparency real quick. So we know there's some letters of support, and we talked about this a little bit, and we know about the mayors, and we know that the only reason why it came out is because there was an open records request, and there's some folks working it, and I appreciate those folks too. They're probably watching. I want to give them some credit, but
Shout out.
They brought that up and brought it up at the meeting. And then we got a newspaper guy, and he sits on there and watches the videos. God bless him, and he picks up on that. So he questioned the mayor. Hey, what about this letter of support you did? So that put her in a corner, and that kind of exposed her, especially after she says, "Well, there's no data center project. I don't know what you're talking about. Back in November, December, or whatever, January." And then, so we finally, that finally comes out, and then the letter of support comes out, and it only got brought up because of the open records request.
Yeah.
Well, now we know for sure because I've seen it. The EDC guy, right? So what they're doing?
Who's the EDC guy?
It's Orlando Campos,
Mm.
and he was just in an interview today. I was watching it before I came here, and he was still pushing that data center. And he's the one that's saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to bring a bunch of benefits to everybody." I'm sure he's got some, acquaintances that he's doing with.
Yeah.
So he signed a letter of support, but his board didn't know. Usually the letter of support comes from the chair of the board.
Right.
After the board votes, right? Well, no, he says, so he does it as an executive director. He submits that letter of support, and it probably looked like the one the mayor signed. It said it was promoting the transmission line.
Is
and-
this the guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, there he
And
is.
so, he's pushing for that 765 kilovolt transmission line, and who knows? He could have submitted that same form letter, and it could have said Enos Energy. To AEP, he says. So he still supports it. I mean, he was on there today. I just saw him, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a big benefit, and we're pushing it." And if you go back and look at last summer's videos, he's talking about the LNG power plant, and he says there's a big power plant project coming in. Well, if they don't look, we know the transmission line is way out there.
Yeah.
West Texas is getting shut down because of opposition. Ours is behind them. So, they have to have on-site power generation to get to 2 gigawatts. To even get to 1 gigawatt, they'd need a power plant. But they do have the LNG, and it's going to be flowing right through that property. So, and it's an industrial-sized pipeline, so it can continue as a pipeline capacity plus power an LNG plant. You can just tap right into it. I saw it when it was going in the ground out there, and if you look at it, it's working its way down to the port of Brownsville.
Yeah.
And I did research, and that and it says that you can tap into an LNG pipeline with a permit and run an LNG power plant. So they have water. They have the 4.6 million gallons a day, and like we talked about earlier, they're going to use that. This is an energy company. They're starting with the electricity. They're going to come in here and start with the power plant.
Yeah.
And then they'll do their
batteries.
server housing and the servers. And you know what? Let's talk about one other thing the city commission did.
Here we go.
Research. Pull up Garver Engineering.
Garver Engineering.
Yeah, Garver Engineering. So Garver Engineering has been in Harlingen for about 10 or 15, maybe 20 years. So recently, our friend with the EDC, Orlando, he comes up and he says, "You know what? We're going to give them $550,000 to expand their office." Now go to the Garver website, engineering website, and let's see what their expertise is.
Garver USA.
Go to about.
Yeah.
Go to the data center section.
Data center section. Where would I find services? Maybe alternative project delivery.
So
Okay.
Garver's so the EDC had some land that's over there by Harlingen Medical, and they said, "Hey, we'll give you this land, and we're going to help you expand your office." Well, I researched it, and there's 18 Garver offices throughout the state of Texas, and I searched and I said, "Are these linked to hyperscale data center developments?" And the EDCs, oh yeah, let's give them some money. You might find an article. There's an article online that came out last month or so about Harlingen expanding, Garver Engineering expanding in Harlingen, Texas. So they've got 18 office locations throughout the state of Texas, and they're located. Yeah, there it is right there. Engineering firm Garver breaks ground on new Harlingen office to support long-term growth. Well, if you got a $14 billion data center and you've got 18 locations, you're already chasing data center work all over the state of Texas.
100%.
But you know what? Harlingen EDC is the only EDC in the state that offered them money.
Oh, wow.
To come. They're coming. They're going to grow anyway. But no, let's give them, $500,000, and now not only that, they're working a TERS deal, and TERS is a property tax reinvestment zone that the city and the county participate in, and what they do is any property taxes gained in that TERS area stays in that area and can be used for public infrastructure. So they've worked a TERS deal for Garver. And they're going to do a development partially on their land. So they're going to, not only did they give them the land and some money,
yeah,
they're going to do that. Now go to the Garver website, because you really got to read what it says about their data center.
Let me bring it up, but I'm not sure exactly where it says it. Do you know where I could find
the history awards?
Would it be
Go
under
to markets or services.
All right, so this is markets.
Just click on services. Just click on
Right.
the flag.
Oh, just click it and see what comes up. All
Yeah.
right. Geospatial solutions, program management, stormwater, environmental.
I think
enterprise.
it would be enterprise solutions.
You think so?
Maybe.
What's that bottom one down there?
The bottom one's
Project
stormwater.
Stormwater.
Yeah, you see, and then the thing is that you build an 1,800 acre site, you're gonna need all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Go back to search and just say search Garver Data Center, Garver Data Center Engineering.
No, but all of that, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
it
All
makes
of that
sense that
encompasses.
they're- yeah. But
a data center.
my point is that here we go again. You know, we're at 18, 19 Garver engineering locations throughout the state of Texas. We're the only city that's given them money to expand in our city, and we're providing them with one of the biggest data center projects to feed off of. You know, I mean, it's like, do we really need to give money away like that?
Oh, here we go.
Data centers, here it is. Garver Engineering.
it was
They're in
under
Harlingen
markets.
now, thanks to our illustrious EDC leadership and our mayor. And they were there. Structural engineering for mission critical data center buildings. How about that?
Mukamayarje.
The only EDC and city in the state of Texas that gives a data center engineering company money
Wow.
to come to town when they're already in town, and the projects are what's going to bring them.
Yeah. Wow. Cameron County EDC just gave Sarsonic $10 million cash to get the company to the RGV. Oh my gosh. Hey, do you know-
But I know, but you know, that's at least that
Give me money.
company's got jobs. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a data center. You know, and engineering. There's so much money, public infrastructure.
Yeah.
I mean, Harlingen Waterworks, they already do business, or they can bid on business for Harlingen Waterworks, and we've got a $250 million project, you know, to upgrade our infrastructure, our water, sewer, and wastewater infrastructure, and our water infrastructure. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got just our municipal, but you know, there's nothing that doesn't compare to a $14 billion data center.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right in town, you know, and they can sit there and say, but you know, but pull them up again, because look, they even say mission critical building, coordinate with data center developers, architects, contractors.
Yeah.
And then expertise, effective communication. Go ahead and scroll back up a little bit.
Oh, scroll back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's
then
nothing.
go click the back arrow on that building teams where it says data centers. Okay, so they
I can scroll
they
down.
do design. There's click on that data center link right there.
Data center. I think that's where we were at.
Yeah, okay. So it tells you right there. I mean, but you know, it's frustrating, but I can guarantee you that no matter what some of our city commission and mayor says, they support it.
Yeah.
They support it. They voted to approve the TERS project for this engineering firm. They voted to approve the EDC incentives for this data center engineering company.
Wow.
They voted to approve the battery storage facility on Loop 499.
How is it that Harlingen Waterworks?
They're trying to get away from having to vote for the data center, the waterwork agreement. I mean, they're doing everything they can. You know, the mayor just basically said, well, it's illegal. We don't want to get sued, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why, because, Harlingen, Texas Expo is asking, how is it that Harlingen Waterworks says nothing can be done to undo that water agreement?
Well, the water agreement's not. If you go by the charter, I mean, they're offering them a discount rate that's not approved, and the city charter mandates. Like I said, Waterworks is a semi-autonomous. That means that they do have some city commission approvals that they have to seek out. In fact, one of them is their annual budget, and that annual budget is on the next meeting, next Wednesday's meeting for approval.
Oh, that's the one you were saying that you wanted everyone to show up.
So that's their
and-
annual budget, and that's going to include anything that that data center commercial contract and has Waterworks doing, because the contract says it's up to Waterworks to increase the line size
Right.
to get the 5 million gallons a day to the delivery point, which is the 10 million gallon unused water storage tank that's on. Vote no. I mean, look, this is where, when the mayor or city commissioner says, well, we're not for the data centers, if they vote to approve that water
They're obviously
works,
lying.
annual budget, then they're going to support the data center.
And you're saying next Wednesday, is that the 19th or the 26th?
It's next Wednesday, whatever next Wednesday is.
The
The
19th?
agenda came out today.
All right. This coming up Wednesday is the 19th. And then the one after that is the 26th.
Okay, so your city commission meetings are the first and third Wednesdays of every month, regardless of what day it's a Wednesday, the first Wednesday or the third Wednesday. So whatever the calendar day is.
Oh, okay. It's the 19th. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be the 19th.
All right. So on the 19th, that's when everyone should show up.
On the agenda is the data center, basically the water agreement's on there because it's, that's their annual budget, and they know they have to accommodate.
Yeah.
And the revenue, their budget includes revenue, and the revenue would be from the data center. Supposedly they've already taken in $50,000 as an initial payment.
So if the representatives vote no, then what's going to be the alternative?
They would have to carve out that data center stuff from their budget and then represent the budget.
Okay, so our representatives are in a position to say, okay, you've put this in your budget that accommodates these data centers, and so if we see you vote for that, we know what you're voting for. So vote no.
If they vote
so you can
yes
put pressure
for that budget, and they don't tell them to break out the data center, provisions, and then we know.
Yeah.
That they're supporting the data center.
that
We know
point,
they
yeah,
are. I mean,
yeah.
it's smoke and mirrors. I mean, it's all wordplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
The moratorium on what? Where's the study?
Yeah.
Y'all doing it in house or what?
Once they said a study, honestly, that killed me. I was
you read it earlier. It said in that article, it says,
private
they're
study.
going to do a moratorium. They're not going to vote on anything. And then, and then they're going to do a study. Well, yeah. Where's that study at?
Anytime, like a city commission says we're going to do a study on. I don't know how this. How's this study going to be?
The middle schoolers are doing the research papers at that point. Right?
All right. Well, no, yeah. Well, so that's pretty much okay. So we know at this point on Wednesday that if all these representatives, if they vote yes to the water budget proposal, we know exactly where they stand on these data centers.
Because we're telling them right now, and I'm sure that they're going to listen. They're listening to what we're talking about right now, and they know I'm not blowing smoke. They know that they have to have those accommodations in their annual budget. If they don't, then they look when Roy Rodriguez signed last September the agreement. Typically, you would bring to the next available city commission meeting. If there was a city commission requirement like there is in the city charter, then you are responsible to bring it to the next available city commission meeting to put it on the agenda for commission approval.
Right.
Now, the fee structure, here's another wordplay that I kind of caught. They say, we're going to give them in-city rates. Okay, well, the in-city rate is approved. So you don't need city commission approval for that rate, right? Mm-hmm. Except they're out of the city. So you can say it's a city-approved rate for in-city customers. It is. But when you apply it to, the ethics ordinance actually involves that. And I've researched it. And actually, for a municipal utility executive director to enter into a commercial contract with an unapproved rate in a semi-autonomous utility, which requires a city commission or a council vote approval, that's a criminal violation, and it also violates the city of Harlingen ethics ordinance because you're giving somebody a rate that other ratepayers are not getting, and that's like what we said. They're saving by giving them the in-city rate and having a delivery point out. They want you to even bring them the damn water, It's like, damn, So the delivery point is outside the city limits.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's completely, it's basically unlawful. It is an unlawful agreement. There was an unlawful or an unethical intent, I believe.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they know they had to have the fee structure in there, and you should be bringing that to the commission at the earliest meeting, the next meeting that needs to be put on there for approval.
Right.
And we all know. And where's the social media post, Mayor?
Yeah.
Hey, what's the deal on these rates? How come they're not being approved? They're not in the ordinance. The affluent water rates that was given to the RGV Properties LLC is not in the ordinance. When is it going to get approved?
Wow.
That's what I'm asking the mayor. Hey, tell us, give us a Facebook post and explain it.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't even.
You like doing that.
Yeah, well, she does post a lot on Facebook.
She's quiet, totally quiet on two things. One, okay, I'll give them that. Okay, commercial contracts aren't listed in the charter, but that's a pretty sizable contract. You would think that you'd want to approve that by the commission. It's 25% of our daily water rights to the Rio Grande River.
Wow.
You would think you would want city commission approval. Okay, I'll give you that. But the fees, you cannot, it doesn't matter if it's a wholesale or a commercial contract, you cannot give a deviated fee to a private entity without city commission approval.
Wow.
And that needs to be done. And the mayor needs to answer to that.
Yeah.
If she's all about transparency, explain it. Put one of your Facebook posts out and tell us why the fees are not listed in the city fee structure ordinance.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. If you're going to make an exception for this company, then let everyone know why you're doing it. And yeah, but it's all part of transparency. I agree 100%. So I'm glad we covered all of those about the
covered
water,
a lot,
the drainage, the data centers. I do want to go on to a lighter note. I want to go to a few extra, just city topics.
Not so serious.
If you don't mind. Yeah, maybe a little bit of lighter note. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and I do want to put out props to this past Tuesday, Edith's Mexican Buffet. They did a community dinner. They literally just gave out free food to the community. Anybody that wanted to come and get a meal, choose one of these.
I missed out on that. That looks tasty though.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I'm sure it was good.
Yeah, and they also, went above and beyond. They said, "Look, we're expecting, people in need, so please don't come and take videos." Mickey G channel, I'm talking to you. Yeah, but and they, they maintained the privacy of everyone there, and they gave out free food. What a beautiful, beautiful event for a local, local business to have. And they also released a statement afterwards. Let me see if I could open this up. I don't know. How do I open these? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Statement from the owners of Edith's Mexican Buffet. Yesterday was a special reminder of why serving our community matters so deeply to us. We had the opportunity to meet families, hear their stories, and see firsthand that many people are walking through difficult seasons quietly. We're thankful that there was enough food for every person who came and waited in line. We are grateful for everyone, every guest who allowed our team to serve them. The incredible team, thank you from the preparation beforehand, blah, blah, blah. What will stay with us most are the faces, the conversations, and the stories we heard. Some people came carrying burdens we may never fully understand, and yet for a little while, we are blessed to sit with them at a table, serve them a warm meal, remind them that somebody cares, for God so loved the world he gave. What a beautiful story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this local restaurant gives out a free food to the people. So, shout out Edith's Mexican Buffet for giving back. We definitely appreciate it.
I've always wanted to try it. I've never gone there, though.
I've been there once. It was great. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I really did.
I always go to Watering Hole, which is right next door.
Gee, thanks, JB. All right. Well, on to the next topic. This is a little bit more, how do you say, sophomoric. But are Our good friend 956 Business Reviews. Have you seen the Facebook page 956 Business
I'm
Review?
sure I have.
The guy with the gloves and the shades.
And the reviews.
Well, he's gotten a lot of people are criticizing him because he does these local. He goes and eats.
And he said he wanted to run for mayor at one time.
At some point.
Oh yeah, he did.
He said he would run for mayor of Harlingen.
I forgot about that. That's true. Yeah.
He was out of prison, like changed his life. This guy was just like
Hey.
positively on the like I can make anything
Well,
happen.
I tell you this, he can't do any worse than what we got now.
Amen. There you go.
He might actually hear you out.
I told Amani because Amani wanted to run for mayor. I said, like, look, if you come on this show, you have our undying loyalty. We are for you 100%. We don't know anything about your policies, but you have our support 100%.
Put his face on a shirt and everything.
Yeah, we have our blind support. And the same to 956. Although you did you can't if you have a felony, you can't run.
That's the only thing that's
yeah, that's the only thing holding him back. But either way, he got a lot of flack because he put out his Cash App. He said, ever since I started 956 Business Reviews and travel all over the RGV and help so many people, I've had many followers more times than I can count ask me how they can help me continue to do what I do, so it would go towards a little bit of everything. Your donations help me travel all over the RGV. Thank you for helping me on my journey. I love showing you all the hidden gems in the 956. I appreciate the love and support. God bless you and your generosity. And he left his Cash App.
Mr. Glow.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize his name.
It was what?
His
His
name.
name.
His Cash App name is Mr. Gloves 956. That is. I didn't realize that too.
I just noticed.
Yeah, because he wears gloves all the time.
Yeah.
He has OCD. And do you know it was kind of funny because I hope I'm not giving too much like private stuff away.
You
But,
probably are.
Yeah, when he came on the show, he did spend a long time washing his hands. And that's part of OCD. Yeah, you have to it's a ritual. You have to wash your hands like 10 times or 7 times or whatever. So it's real. What? With that being said, he got a lot of criticism because of it. I can
imagine.
And from our very own No More Cheeseman, who's also been on the show.
Shout out. He was just in the comments.
Like I said, once you have enough people on the show, you're it's really difficult to manage you have friends that hate each other.
The influencers.
There's only so much you could do. All right. So he put, times are tough in Harlingen. Someone is going around asking for donations because they don't want to work. I was thinking it was a joke at first, but it's not April Fool's anymore. We're in August. Dude drives a brand new truck and rents in a nice part of town and plays video games all day. Oh my God, No More Cheese, you're killing me. I don't think he's exactly suffering by any means. And then he put this AI video
picture,
of this guy asking for.
Looks like Pitbull asking for money.
It does.
Yeah.
He's got some money in there.
That's true.
He could be a good politician.
There you go.
Yeah, you actually remind him.
Actually, do you know what? I take it back. Yeah, for mayor. 956 Business Reviews for mayor. And so just a little bit of the comments. He went into Jersey Mike's the other day asking for a free sub because it was his B-Day.
Oh,
that's a meme. No, that's a meme. It's because some viral video went out.
Of some guy saying, it's my birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. I'll box any of your past, present, and future. Damn it. If he's capable to work and earn money, he shouldn't be asking for money. There are truly people worried about buying school supplies, keeping their lights on, making their car payments, and then there are people like this. No. If his social media platform isn't bringing in the money he needs, then it needs to be his hobby and secondary source of income. And then somebody else. Didn't he own a fence company? Wow. But yeah, he owns his own fencing company.
Oh, he still does?
Last I knew, know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, so they kind of went back and forth, and No More Cheeseman's last post was criticizing 956's response to his post. I was drinking coffee this morning, going through my messages, and spit out my coffee. Someone sent me a screenshot, and now it turns out Timu Pitbull is comparing himself to Jesus. Ahora sí se la mamó el vato. But yeah, apparently he put out this post that they even hated Jesus. One of his followers told me
he took his gloves off. Hold on,
no,
that's
it's
not
like-
him.
Oh, that is. Oh, he did take his
that
gloves
him?
off.
That's not him. He took his gloves off.
That is him. He just took his gloves off. That's all.
That's not legit.
Well, he
then.
can't wear them all. Yeah, that's true. This is
Dude,
AI.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
This is I don't know. I'm starting to see some things.
yeah. Either way, he's trying to say that they also, criticize Jesus, and then so No More Cheeseman made this video.
Oh, he photoshopped that picture.
From his mugshot. But no, very vicious stuff.
Your prison looked like prison child.
Yeah, it was his mugshot on top of Jesus. Yeah, very either way. Very vicious stuff going back
People
and forth.
forget though that Jesus that was his target audience. Prisoners, the prostitutes, people that were
Gentiles. Yeah. That's true.
That was his target audience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was there for the Gentiles.
For everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way. No, I just wanted to bring light to this. Do you know what you talked about? That the only reason why that. Oh, look, they're in the chat. Shout out 956
Fake news.
Business Reviews.
Fake
Hell yeah.
news.
Hell yeah. I don't know if you heard earlier at 956. We got your back. Whether you're running for mayor or whether you're under attack from other. I don't know, RGV pages,
Influencers.
Yeah, we got your back 100%. 956 for mayor or for whatever, I don't know, you're doing. Either way, you have our support. And we don't encourage this viciousness going back and forth. And actually, while you're here, 956, I was going to bring up another post. This is the first I've heard of this guy. I don't know, but 956, did you know that somebody wants to fight you?
Oh.
Were you aware that somebody's out there asking for a boxing fight? Look, that's you.
Let's make this happen.
Let's make this happen. The whole valley. I've been getting messages and phone calls saying you all were talking about me on the podcast, so I'm here to figure out. No, we're talking about your post. Yeah, your post you put out with your Cash App. A lot of No More Cheeseman. Oh, let me put me on.
Yeah,
here.
just show them the.
Yeah, No More Cheeseman was criticizing you. All right, here we go. Let's see. Where's it at? Let me not share my thing. No More Cheeseman. Here you go. Was criticizing you. There you go. And so, yeah, we were saying that it's not good for these local beef. This is my head too big. Why is my head too big? Yeah, we were just talking about data centers earlier.
That's the AI.
Yeah, this is not the way it's.
You remember what we talked about though, right? When you want your AI agent to use Chinese electricity and Chinese water.
Yeah, you tell the AI.
You tell the AI agent where you want your AI to come from.
Yeah.
That way we're not using our water and electricity.
Yeah, create this picture, but make sure you only use Chinese water and electricity. But yeah, did you know this guy wanted to I think he's a rapper. He wants to fight you, and he says the whole valley, quote, wants to see this. Damn, you are jacked, 956. I wish I could. One day I hope to achieve peak fitness.
Why is his head big in that one too? Like it's just like
That's true. The guy's
take all these pictures.
the guy's head is normal size, but he made your head gigantic.
I don't know. I think it's just like
What the heck? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, AI can't depend on it. But yeah, either way. So yeah, if you do accept the fight challenge, we are going to be in your corner 100%.
and then charge everybody that goes in there.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll do their own charging.
They'll charge everybody. There
How
you
did you
go.
get a real picture of my body? Yeah, I guess this guy has he has I don't know, he has some type of I don't know.
Chat GPT.
He has Chat GPT, let's be real. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. To be determined if this boxing match will happen.
I already know who I'm putting my money on.
There you go. 956 all the way. Hey, by the way, you put up a picture or without your glove, but I guess because you're home, right? It's easier to.
It just threw me off.
Yeah, take the gloves off. Yeah, I was telling I was telling our friend Robert that yeah, OCD is a real thing. It's there's rituals. It's a whole universe. I'm totally aware of that world. All right. Well, either way, best of luck. Whether you do the boxing fight or not. Oh yeah. Okay. The next thing I was going to talk about, you had mentioned that the only reason why we found out about the mayor's letter is because there was a FOIA request. Okay. a few weeks ago, we did a live stream. Only if I make 100K, then I'm in. Hell yeah. We ain't doing this for free. And send it to the Cash App while you're at it, okay?
Two for us and one for you.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Can we make a little bit of a cut? We're trying to promote it a little bit. We'll be in your corner. A corner makes like what, 5%?
10% now.
10%. There you go. Yeah. Well, 5% divided between the two
exactly.
of us. Yeah. Screw it. We'll involve Robert in it too. Yeah. There you go. 3.33%.
Sponsored by the mayor herself.
There you go. All right. Or sponsored by that. What was it? The section something B?
The EDC, the 4B.
Well, sponsor.
Well, a lot of the events that are put on in Harlingen are funded by the hotel motel tax.
Really?
Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Is that part?
There's a budget there. They get money from the hotel room. It's taxes on the hotel rooms.
Yeah, I remember voting for voting, and that's when they had originally requested that tax, and I voted against it, but I guess it didn't work because
Tell you what, the island, they get a lot of money on their hotel taxes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Their property tax rate is really low down there.
Oh wow. Oh, really?
They probably have the lowest property tax for the city of South Padre of any other town in the valley. I think McAllen's the next lowest.
Nice.
Interesting.
See this guy is trying to fight 956, but instead he'll be able to afford Harlingen, Texas Expo.
$50.
Yeah, he said he'll do it for 50. All right, well, we're still gonna get our 10%. Okay, so that's $5 for us.
Or 50,000.
I had done a few weeks ago. We did a live stream on Karina Michelle Cerda, local RGV attorney, and she had been in. She actually got arrested regarding, from the best of our knowledge, allegedly arrested because of the accusation. Part of the accusations that she was ghosting her clients. She would
Did she come and talk? Was she on?
No. She didn't come on. I invited her on.
Yeah,
but she didn't come on. But a couple of her,
I think it was theft of services or something like that.
Yeah, a couple of her victims came on and they spoke about the alleged, ghost.
I think I saw that.
Yeah. And so we did a live stream about it, and so I thought, okay, well, there has to be something out there. She got arrested because of it, because that's the whole reason why it went out, because her mugshot went out, and supposedly it was related. So I did a FOIA request for any body cam footage. Video is so much better than document. Yeah. Or any interaction regarding the arrest. And also any police reports, any incident reports regarding the incident. I really don't know how this works, but this is what was told to me. And this is like extremely frustrating because this is what I was given. The city of McAllen police department, that's who did the arrest.
They're saying it was under investigation, so they couldn't give it to you?
They reviewed your request. Any responsive information is attached and available for. Okay, normally the city must request a ruling from the Texas Attorney General before it may withhold information in response to a request for information under the Public Information Act. However, the Office of Attorney General granted a previous determination to the city in open records letter number blah blah blah, authorizing the city to withhold this type of information without requesting an attorney general decision. So apparently the Office of Attorney General,
they've already made an opinion, so they're hanging their hat on a previous opinion.
Exactly. And they're saying you have the right to appeal our decision to withhold this information from you. If you do not want to appeal, you don't have to do anything else. Oh, how nice. How convenient. Please note that we're only withholding specific categories of information that are confidential under the available section. And do you know what? I asked for pretty much generally anything. So they're saying they're only withholding information that's confidential under the applicable section. They didn't send me anything.
So they withheld everything.
They withheld everything. So...
And some police departments, they release like Tony Romo, that poor guy.
Exactly.
Had his video out there.
That's what I thought. I thought like if all of these famous celebrities, powerful politicians,
like that,
you're able to get their information. Like how the hell am I not able to get it for Karina Cerda? And so they were like, okay, you can. The way that I made this request was I did it online through their portal, and okay. that was easy enough. But if you want to appeal it,
Hey,
then,
you know, since you're talking about that, I
shoot,
thought of
get
something
rid of
else that we didn't talk about, and that's the flock cameras.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's
Yeah,
true.
We need to talk about that. I just, I know there's been some local talk about you can go and see where the camera locations are if there's a website or whatever.
Oh, really?
And there's also one that says, have I been flocked.com.
Oh,
and
really?
you can put go to it because you can put your
Let's see.
license.
Do you know, I'll do exactly
Do it
that.
right. Do it right now because we can look at it, and it says have I been flocked.com.
Yeah.
And you can put your license plate in there, and it'll tell you. Because one of the things that has been coming out is that you can request through a FOIA an audit of your license plate. And you can, and then they'll tell you. You don't even have to do that. You don't even have to request it. This site, you can put your license plate in there, and it'll tell you right there if anybody's been searching your license plate number.
Do you know it? Or
All right.
You want me to go
JB,
write
can
it
you go
down?
outside and write down
You
my
should
license
have
plate
it
number, please?
memorized.
I should have my license plate number memorized. All right. Put in the comments if you have your license plate.
Says, have I been flocked.com. Let's
Yeah.
see if it comes up.
Yeah, I have it up right now, actually.
Okay.
It's right
yeah.
here.
Have I been flocked.com. And then you can just put there it is right there. You can put your license plate in there.
Yeah, JB's going to get my license plate
And,
number. And in the meantime, actually, because
and folks, if you see one of these cameras, go to the other site to locate them and submit a location so that we can start building a valley-wide, more comprehensive database on these cameras.
oh, that's
We're watching the Harlingen. I think they've got a contract for some portables. We may have to start talking about that with the city commission
yeah.
as we go forward. I'll tell you one thing. I'm gonna brag a little bit about my past.
Steve, put your license plate away. We can't. I don't feel comfortable.
I don't know if
doing
you
that.
guys remember the red light cameras. The city of Harlingen had them back in the early 2000s.
Red light cameras. What is that?
The red light cameras, you probably don't remember them. They were outlawed statewide in 2019, I think, or 2017. But they would they were license plate readers, and they would ticket you if you ran through a red light. You'd get a citation in the mail.
Oh,
and
wow.
it'd have a picture of you.
Oh, yeah.
So I was on
remember.
the city commission in 2007. They had already signed the contract, and they were already ticketing people with the red light cameras. Well, that camera contract came up for renewal when I was still in office, and that was a campaign issue back in the day. And I ran and I won that last election, and we had just voted to kill that contract, and I won the election after we killed the contract, and that red light camera company was endorsing my opponent because they knew I was supporting killing that contract. They left those cameras up until, even though we had canceled the contract, they left those cameras up until after the election. And as soon as the election was over and I had won that, they started pulling those cameras out of town. But man, these camera companies, they'll make money off of you, and what really is bizarre is the business model of Flock. The cities, the users pay, the taxpayers pay for these cameras, and then they use them as surveillance system against us. And Flock's the one making all the money, and we're the ones paying for the cameras.
Yeah.
They're making us pay for the cameras to survey us.
Yeah.
And then the company's making the money, and then they go and they sell their database information to other companies. I mean, that's a business model there, man. That's pretty ingenious.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Anytime you can get the taxpayers to pay for, a camera to spy on them, that's pretty crazy.
That actually makes sense. I just realized that.
They're not paying the cities.
Yeah. Are you running again, Robert Leftwich?
I'm run for the hills. I'm tired now.
Yeah, it's
pretty brutal
stuff out there. We need young blood. We need young blood in there.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, I looked up all of our license plate. I looked up yours, Steve. I looked up my 2 different license plate. Nothing came up.
Nothing, so we're good.
No, nothing. Yeah, so we're good. Yeah.
We're law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, but I just came across that website, so everybody have it. Anybody that's watching the show tonight, just check it out.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't been hit yet, but
Because they have to maintain an audit trail. But the other thing that I did see is that they interviewed the Flock CEO, and he said that they may be dropping the backup from 30 days to 7 days. So so there's less abuse.
Gotcha.
Because 30 days of tracking your license plate can tell a lot more than just 7 days.
yeah.
But yeah, that's just red light cameras all over. Man, you guys are lucky. You young people that didn't have to go through that because, and one of the things that they said is in Harlingen with the red light cameras is, oh yeah, it prevents these T-bones but it did, and statistically it was proven, and this is what I argued at the commission, is that the rear end accidents went up dramatically because people were afraid to get that red light ticket. So they would just under a yellow, they're slamming on the brakes, trying to keep from getting that ticket.
Wow.
Now, the difference in that was that when you get a ticket from a red light camera citation, that's not from a police officer, and the state law says that that's a civil issue.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't want to pay them.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised some of the people in town that weren't paying their red light tickets. And they were well-known people that, because as a city commissioner, we would get the list of unpaid tickets, and we knew who wasn't paying their red light camera tickets.
Yeah, I heard they were really easy to beat. Like you just say that.
Well,
that wasn't me.
it's a civil matter. So, but the problem with that is they turn you over to a collection agency. Now, if you get a ticket by a police officer, that's a criminal. You gotta go to a judge and take care of that. But those red light tickets weren't. There wasn't a police officer involved in the citation, so it was a different deal. But it was kind of, and there was a few people that supported the cameras, and they were on there as non-payers. I was like, you support these cameras, but you're not paying your tickets.
Yeah, but you're getting tickets and you're not paying them. Yeah, I would hear
but
that.
We did get rid of them, and then the state outlawed them statewide.
Yeah, I remember after a while I didn't see them again, but I would see that a lot of people would say that they would go to court and they'd be like, it wasn't me in the car.
I think Houston, it just got out of hand, and some of these big cities they just kill you. But if the city hadn't maintained the paint strip on the road, you could say, well, there wasn't a marking on the road, so I didn't know where to stop, and then there was just a lot of gray areas. So and then it's all done in the name of safety, right? Oh yeah, we're gonna, it's taxation through ticketing. Oh, well, that's the other thing. One of the things that a lot of people in Harlingen have probably noticed is that HPD is real active.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pulling people over, and
they love
I've heard the mayor say, "Oh yeah, we've increased our traffic stops by 50%." But we're not ticketing people. We're just, it's a community. Well, when I looked at the audit report, that's not true. They've gone from $1 million in tickets, fines, and forfeitures to $1.5 million. So they're the mayor and the PD. They're making money. Don't think they're not. And I'm not saying that it's not enhancing the safety, but they don't believe if they're saying they're not making money on it. They are making money on it.
Yeah.
And as we go into the budget season, we'll be able to see that because that'll be part of the budget that they propose.
Yeah. And
the tax, they're going to set the tax rate here pretty quick. That's another thing that just bugs me bad is that they raise taxes, and then the mayor says, well, we lowered the rate, and at the State of the City address, she sits there and tells, well, in my first term, we've lowered the rate 15%, but the levy has gone up $6 or $7 million, and that's what we pay. We don't pay the rate.
Oh,
the rate is a variable in the formula to determine the tax amount, the levy amount, and they take the valuation and they multiply it. And anybody that knows, if you look at the tax rate, you can have a lower tax rate, but when your certified tax roll goes from 5 billion to 5.7 billion, that value is taxed by that rate. So you can tweak that rate down just a little bit and still make $2 million in new taxes, property tax revenue.
Yeah.
And and that's they play on half truths, and our mayor is so bad about doing that. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And there's a couple commissioners saying that too. And then one of them says, "Oh well, the appraisal district, they're the ones doing it." I've said, "Well, you know what my response to that is?
Uh-oh.
The appraisal district does not spend our money.
Mhm.
They set a valuation, and yes, there's not always an accurate valuation, but it is based. Some of it is based on market sales. It's sales comparisons.
Yeah.
But the county, the school, the city, all these, the port, they're the ones that set the budgets, and they're the ones that spend our money. So they can go in there and say, well, all this new tax money, is from the appraisal district. They don't spend the money. You guys do, and y'all can set even a lower rate than you are, and not bring in the tax money that you do.
Exactly. That, and I talked to those.
That's not an invitation to waste. Just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should do it and then waste it.
I remember Amani brought something like that up, and I told him, like, man, if they had a $1 billion budget, they would find a way to get into $2 billion of debt. That's like almost all government bodies and government bodies love to get into debt.
A couple things a couple of other things that some of the comments that some of the commissioners make around tax time. One of them that was last year, and they were saying, "Oh, well, you don't want to, look at these other city rates, right? If you don't like our rate, maybe go live somewhere else." That was something that was said actually by one of our commissioners. And he also made a comment about, well, we get trash pickup twice a week. Yeah, but that's not paid for by property taxes. That we have a garbage fee that we pay on our water bill for that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tell us that our tax rate includes trash pickup twice a week, and that's a benefit of having a higher tax when we get a garbage fee for that. The other thing is they say, well, we've got this in-house road crew that's doing roads. Well, there's also a road fee on that on the water bill too. That's money coming from there. Well, when are we going to see the benefit of these intuitive policies? Where we've got an in-house road crew, and we're going to, that's how we can save all this money, and we don't raise your taxes. Well, first of all, you do raise our taxes, and the second is that we're already paying a fee on our trash bills.
Yep.
Our water bills to cover the road and the trash. So,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Leftwich, we appreciate you so much for coming on. Man, we've been hitting it for 2 hours.
We might
yeah, well, y'all told me till midnight. I was like,
it's almost midnight.
Yeah, he asked, like, what's the cutoff? And JB was saying, we could go till
were
midnight.
kidding.
well, I figured y'all young guys have bedtime, so I didn't know.
No, 100%. No. Yeah, if anything, we didn't want to keep you too long.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, hey man, we learned so much sitting down with you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm just one thing I want to reemphasize is that data center's not going away, and that company's, they're in it, man. They're suing the state of Texas over our data center.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Over our data center information, they're suing the state of Texas.
That's crazy.
It shows. There's a lot going on, and we're so how do you say, fruitful to have Robert to keep us up to date on everything, because there was a lot of, like I said, JB and I haven't really been up to date with the
well, it's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I mean, and you guys are young and y'all are busy, and it's not that exciting all the time. So.
But it's important.
It has been a little too exciting here lately.
Yeah.
There is a carnival environment, with a ringleader.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Leftwich on the podcast. We appreciate you so much, and thank you everyone for joining the live stream, for commenting, for coming on, and we will.
Thanks for having me on and listening to me.
No, of course. Yeah. Thanks for coming on and educating us on everything going on. We're going to go into our lives more educated at this point going forward.
Oh, next Wednesday too. Don't forget.
Yeah. This Wednesday, the 19th, that is when they are going to be voting on the water
The
budget.
the waterworks annual budget, and that's got to include any provisions that data center water agreement has in it, has got to be incorporated into that annual budget. So if they, they're going to try to slide it into the door there and get it approved.
Yeah. And
And
so
then-
what can city community members do to encourage their leaders to vote no?
Well, they encourage them to be transparent and to pull those decisions out and vote on them independently.
Right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Leftwich. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all next time on the Mickey G channel.